Hi guys. About a year ago, probably like early 2021, late 2020, I read this uh news art or this article from Forbes. So it's legit, it's Forbes, and it's the World Economic Forum. And I thought I would reread it and probably reevaluate it from where we're standing in 2022. So yeah, let's give it a read again because I've kind of forgotten some of it. I remember some of it, but I've forgotten some of it. And if you've never seen that video or you've never seen this article from Forbes, like the World Economic Forum, then it might shock you from what they're basically saying here. So okay, let's read it, shall we? Because this is their version of utopia. So it sounds pleasant when they say I own nothing, doesn't it? You have no privacy. I mean, they're telling you no privacy and life has never been better. Come on, guys. It's like Brave New World. If you ever read the book Brave New World, look at this a minute before we read the article. So one of the saying in this Brave New World quote, everyone belongs to everyone else. This is a line form of social conditioning recordings that different characters repeat throughout the text. It means that no relationship, especially no sexual relationship, is more important than any other, and every person has the right to have sex with anyone else. So everybody belongs to everybody, and no one owns anything. They all belong to each other, so it's like no privacy in that. Now, this could be a very long video, guys, so I am warning you. There is a lot to cover, I think, but it might not be as long as what I think it's going to be. I've got planned out what I want to talk about. So, yeah, let's give it a read anyway. So, I've read it before, but we're going to read it again, and I'm going to give you my up-to-date view on it. So, welcome to 2030. So, that's 8 years away. Less than 8 years away now. Can you think, right? I'm not even that old, right? And I can remember 8 years ago. It doesn't seem that long ago. 2014, yeah, 2014, 13, 14. It's not that long ago. So that's a short period of time, right? That's not that far. 8 years, it may seem it's quite a few years away, but it isn't. So welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. World Economic Forum contributor. We may look at that guy at the end, we may not, but Ida Olken, I don't know who that is, of course. Like we give a shit, but anyway, it repeats itself like it's got some Tourette's. Welcome to the year 2030. Welcome to my city, or should I say our city. I don't own anything. I don't own a car. They want to get rid of privatisation. Look at what's going on right now with all the fuel price is rising. You know, the petrol, diesel, rising prices all over the world, where people won't be able to afford to run the car anymore. So that means they'll get more people onto public transport, which is what they want because it's more control with where people can go. I don't own a house. Now, I want to talk about this. I'm going to get into this after I've read this article, but look at what they're doing with the Ukraine crisis right now. All these so-called refugees they want to take in. All these countries. Ireland taking in 200,000, is it? It might even be more than that now. Ukrainians. And they want now people to... This is what I think is going to happen anyway. They do. They want people to take them into their home. They're actually asking people, British people and Irish people and other people, Dutch people, French, German. They're asking people to take Ukrainian refugees into their homes. And I think that's part of the agenda of the end of privatisation of homes. And that's what communism is. That's what communism was. Communism was in Russia, in the Bolshevik Revolution, the Soviet Union. where people didn't have ownerships of houses, and it's the same in Cuba. And I think if you look into Romania, which in 1989 in Romania, when the revolution happened there, everyone had the right to buy the houses because they didn't own the houses before, and then they were cheap to buy. So now Romania's got the highest private property ownership in the world, and what there as well, they own their land, so and it's cheap. So in some ways, that's they're doing quite well in that aspect, because more and more people in Western countries are now renting because the house prices are so high, and it's deliberate, I think, because they're not putting the wages up, but they're keeping the house prices up, and they keep putting them up and up. So now more people will have to rent, and that's the end of privatisation of houses, and that's part of the communism agenda. It's not even communism; it's dictatorship. It's a complete technocratic dictatorship. So yeah, that's that aspect. So I might not have to look at that now, but yeah, that's where that comes from. And I don't own any appliances or any clothes. That one was just fucked up on so many levels. I mean, come on, right? You don't even own clothes? What's the worst case scenario for this? What is the worst case scenario for clothes? Because I can think of a very bad case scenario. It's crazy. This is going to sound absolutely insane, but say if the social credit system comes out and you don't have a high enough social credit score to get the clothes or get decent clothes, you might have to get rags or something because your social credit score's low. Rent some rags out. So you're going to be renting clothes. You're going to be renting everything. It might seem odd to you. Of course it fucking does. It's not right. It's wrong. It's taking everything away from everybody so you can have control. It's disgusting. World Economic Forum. But it makes perfect sense for us in this city. And they're all jibby-jabbed up as well. Everything you consider a product has now become a service. We have access to transportation, accommodation, food, and all the things we need in our daily lives. Until you don't, until they just get rid of all that. In some organised crisis. But then again, I assume this is the agenda they want, so all these crises would have already happened, and this is the New World Order. One by one, all these things become free, so it ended up not making sense for us to own much. Why do you think this would be? This is interesting. One by one, all things became free. All these things became free. Food, accommodation, transportation. Don't you think that's a bit weird? Nothing's free, right? These greedy bastards that own all this money, they don't want everything to be free. So what's going on here? It's because I think it's I don't know myself, but it's a bit odd. The only thing I can think of is the New World Order Great Reset, where you're in a controlled environment in a smart city where they control everything you do, and you're controlled by a social credit score, and you have to behave to get these 3 things, and that's how they control you. That's what it will be. So it ended up not making sense for us to own much. First, communications became digitalised and free to everyone. Then, when clean energy became free, things started to move quickly. So, first, communication became digitalised and free to everyone. So, we've got to think about all this new age technology coming out from 5G, 6G, so on, right? Then, when clean energy became free, is that the aim? Clean energy to become free? So it won't cost anything to run this clean energy then, I'm guessing. I mean, the system in general. I mean, I think they just want to change the system, but it'll be something just as bad as this system, if not worse. Even if everything is quote unquote free, because really, you're not free. You're giving your freedom away. One of the most valuable things that you have is freedom. And if they're admitting here that you have no privacy, that itself is a cost. A very expensive cost. More expensive than money. You own nothing. And they'll give you this illusion that you're happy. You know, they'll create this fake utopia to make you think that you don't need anything else, and you've got everything you need in that one environment, and you don't need to leave your city anymore. Just stay in your city while the elite travel the world. To be honest, my views on this hasn't changed at all. It's pretty much the same, but after reading it before, I'm getting a better gist of it. It might seem odd to you, but it makes perfect sense for us in this city. Everything you consider a product has now become a service. We have access to transportation, accommodation, food, and all these things we need in our daily lives. One by one, these becoming free, so it ended up not making sense for us to own much. First, communication became digitalised and free to everyone. Then, when clean energy became free, things started to move quickly. Transportation dropped dramatically in price because they want to get everyone on public transportation. That'll be part of the privatisation of cars, getting rid of you to own. You know, car-free Sundays. Fucking hell! Look at what they're doing. The Italian government's thought about doing. Was it the Italian government? Car-free Sundays. I'll try and show you an article after this. Banning cars in big cities on Sundays. You know, that's just a start. You don't think they could go further with that? Seemed to work for the last 2 years, didn't it? It made no sense for us to own cars anymore. There you go. They want to get rid of cars. It suits their agenda. The fuel prices rising, the fuel shortages, all of it suits their agenda to this. No sense for us to own cars. That's what they want. And that's where it's going now. That's why what we're seeing, inflate everything. Blaming it on Ukraine. Bollocks. Nothing to do with that. Just gives them an excuse to do this to us. Because we could call a driverless vehicle or a flying car for longer journeys within... I don't know what they mean by flying car. Anyone have any idea what they mean by flying car? I mean, this was written in 2016. Way before all this came out, you know, when they started talking about the Great Reset openly. This came out in 2016. So I don't know what they mean by flying car. For longer journeys within minutes. Wow, that's fast. We started transporting ourselves in a much more organised and coordinated way when public transport became easier, quicker and more convenient than the car. Now I can hardly believe that we've accepted congestion and traffic jams, not to mention the air pollution from the combustion engines. What were we thinking? Imagine the propaganda bollocks they're pushing on the children then in 2030. I mean, this isn't that far away either. I mean, what? This was typed up in 2016, so 14 years. They planned this 14 years ahead of its time, so you think about it. Sometimes I use my bike when I go to see some of my friends. I enjoy the exercise and the ride. It kind of gets the soul to come along on the journey. It's a bit of a weird thing to say, isn't it? It kind of gets the soul to come along for the journey when talking about riding something as basic as a bike. What the fuck? Funny how some things never seem to lose their excitement. Walking, biking, cooking, drawing and growing plants. Oh, that's alright then. So you're allowed to grow your own plants, are you? It makes perfect sense, and it reminds us of how our culture emerged out of close relationship with nature. Excuse me. In our city, we don't pay any rent. Interesting, because someone else is using our free space whenever we do not need it. So, what? Somebody else uses where you're living. Wait, what? My living room is used for business meetings when I am not there. Oh, I can't remember that bit in my last video that I did. It's a bit of a weird thing to say, isn't it? My living room is used for business meetings when I am not there. So it's like everything belongs to everyone and nothing belongs to no one type of thing. So you're just going to let some random strangers into somewhere where you're staying when you're not there, because I suppose you don't own anything, so it doesn't really matter because no one's going to steal anything because everything's rented, innit? This is fucking crazy. And I can see where it's going. I can see this is all leading up. It's great. This is leading up to everything that's going on now is leading up to this. What's written here, what's this article is saying. Now, I don't know if it'll be as quick as 2030, but this is their agenda. This is their agenda. What about pets? Are you allowed to own pets? That's something I want to know. What are they going to do to the pets in the future? That's what I'm thinking. Because in my eyes, I think they see them as dirty, don't they? They seem to be. They've been talking about the CV and pets and animals and everything. They seem to have a bit of a really weird squeamish phobia of animals and cleanliness. It's weird, and I hope they're not going to do anything to our animals. I know they say about how they care about the animals and the environment so much, and that we humans, there's too many humans on the earth. I know they talk about all that crap and everything, but we know really they don't care about animals. They're just using it as an excuse to push their agenda and more control. We all know that, don't we? Once in a while, I will choose to cook for myself. It is easy. The necessary kitchen equipment is delivered at my door within minutes. So, wow. I mean, okay, so if you need a pan or something, I'm guessing you get your pan delivered to your door. It's kind of like a Deliveroo or an Uber Eats or something. You know, we have delivery now. We're already having delivery of takeaways. It's now getting to the point where even some of your shopping's been delivered. It's a matter of time that all this will become a reality, unfortunately, for many. But it doesn't have to mean it have to become a reality for us. But, hey, I know only 100 to 200 people are going to watch this video, and some of you probably won't have even made it this far. And yeah, I can only get it out to so many people. But you know, do you like all this? Do you if you're going to continue to comply with what they're doing, and you like what government's doing and protecting you, you know, are you happy to not own your own house, not own your own car, not even own your own clothes? You know, don't own your clothes. You know, you own nothing, you'll be happy, and you have no privacy either. Is that what you want? Because they're basically telling you that's exactly what it is. This is the Forbes. You know, it's no conspiracy theory. All right? This is no fucking conspiracy theory. Where are we? Okay, yeah. The necessary equipment is delivered to my door within minutes. Since transport became free, we stopped having all those things stuffed in our homes. Why keep a pasta maker and creep cooker cramped into a cupboard? Why not? You know, you might want this nice pasta maker because it's something that's yours, and you appreciate it. You know, you appreciate what you own. You know, I don't want to own much stuff. You know, I want enough stuff, you know, to own, you know, and be happy. But I don't care about having loads and loads of materialistic stuff. But I do enjoy having a few stuff to own. You know, I've got a nice watch. I got a nice ring from my grandma. You know, I own them. I like to dress smart as well. I like to keep myself clean and smart. You know, I want my own clothes. You know, something I can cherish. And I want my own living space. You know, I want it something that's mine, that's just for me. And in this world, we can't have that, and they're taking that away from us. You know, and the lack of privacy, I mean, that's disgraceful. I mean, privacy is a basic human necessity, in my opinion. Where are we? Okay, yeah, we're going down here, aren't we? So yeah, maybe people want to keep a pasta maker, maybe because they enjoy owning it. You know, there should be nothing wrong with that. I understand at this day and age the pushing where, you know, you have to keep up with getting the latest technology or the latest trends and all that. You know, you have to buy the latest shoes. And I think that as in itself, when you think about it, all this stuff that's going to be rented out, you know, your clothes, everything that they're talking about here, maybe it'll become where they're getting used to that trend. So everything, all the clothes are going to change throughout time, and you're gonna get some new clothes delivered to your door, and you wear them. And then in the next month, a new style of clothes will come out, and everyone will start wearing them because it'll be all delivered to everybody's door. You see what I mean? Is that what the trends are for now? I don't know. But I think I don't know. It's all an agenda. Everything that's playing out is part of the agenda. Keep losing where we are. Okay, yeah. We just order them when we need them. This also makes the breakthrough of the circular economy easier. When products are turned into services, no one has an interest in things with a short lifespan. Everything is designed for durability, repairability, and recycle. Talking about recycling and repairing, durability. The materials are flowing more quickly in our economy and can be transformed to new products pretty easily. Environmental problems seem far away since we only use clean energy and clean production methods. The air is clean, the water is clean, and nobody would dare. This is interesting. Look at this. I want you to read this very carefully. Nobody would dare. You wouldn't dare touch the protected areas of nature because they constitute such value to our well-being. I remember reading that last year. Yeah, you wouldn't dare, would you? Because what's the punishment going to be if you dare to touch the protected areas of nature? You know, touch, not destroy, not vandalize, touch. You know, no, don't look at nature, but don't interact with nature. That's what I'm reading there. In the cities, we have plenty of green space and plants and trees all over. I still do not understand why in the past we filled all the free spots in our city with concrete. So it'll be all recreational land, won't it? Recreational nature, not natural nature. Shopping. I remember this, frigging out, and it's fast becoming a reality now. I can't really remember what that is. I can't remember what shopping is. For the most of us, it has been turned into choosing things to use. Sometimes I find this fun, and sometimes I just want the algorithm to do it for me. Getting a lot of that. It's very strong, the algorithms on the internet these days, isn't it? It knows my taste better than I do. Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. It can read your mind, can't it? Because that's what they want. I'm sure it says that somewhere in here. I think I remember it does. When AI and robots took over so much of our work, we suddenly had the time to eat well, sleep well, and spend time with other people. The concept of rush hour makes no sense anymore since the work that we do can be done at any time. I don't really know if I could call it work anymore. It is more like thinking time, creation time, and development time. Yeah, I remember that as well. I remember reading that. Yeah, just make sure you do everything the government says. So you know you don't have to work, but do everything the government says, and then you'll be fine. You know, you got to say that the government's good, and you know they're the best things ever, and you know, and this AI technology is amazing, and life's never been so better. You know, just keep saying that, and you're sure you'll get a good social credit score. And you'll be able to receive the free products through your Deliveroo. For a while, everything was turned into entertainment, and people did not want to bother themselves with difficult issues. Yeah, that's been the last 2 years, really, hasn't it? Entertainment. It's just been nothing but entertainment for a lot of people while they've been in the lockdowns. It was only at the last minute that we found out how to use all these new technologies for better purposes than just killing time. My biggest concern is all the people who did not live in our city, those we lost on the way, those who decided that it became too much and all this technology, those who felt obsolete and used, too much. Yep, too much lack of privacy, too much control, too much of a dictatorship. Those who have felt obsolete and useless when robots and AI took over big parts of our jobs. Those who got upset with the political system and turned against it. They live different kind of lives outside of the city. Some have formed little self-supplying communities, kind of like the Hunger Games, innit? Others just stayed in the empty, abandoned houses in small 19th century villages. Empty, abandoned houses. Oh, that's interesting. It says empty. When they say empty and abandoned houses, it makes me think that the derelict and the lacking electricity and all that stuff. That's what it makes me. That's how I get that. But then it says 19th century villages. Now, a 19th century village, that's from the 1800s, isn't it? I don't know. When we think of a village in the UK, for example, a lot of the villages here are much nicer looking than the cities anyway. The cities in the UK are pretty ugly, to be honest, the big ones. You know, you go to places like Manchester or Birmingham, they're not exactly the prettiest places, are they? And people will know that in the UK. But when you go to the villages, they're so much nicer looking, and the smaller towns are nicer looking. They've just got a better environment, and they look better. You know, the architecture looks better, and the surroundings and the environment it's in is better. So yeah, bit controversial saying an empty abandoned houses in a village. It's a bit of a, yeah. Once in a while I get annoyed about the fact I have no real privacy. Nowhere can I go? I mean, here guys, it's telling you in it. Once in a while I get annoyed about the fact I have no real privacy. Nowhere can I go and not be registered? Yeah, this was written in 2016. And think about what they're trying to introduce. And they've I think, in some ways, have kind of had to resort to plan B with it, haven't they? Because, you know, they know people are not going to fall for it, even though a lot of people would. So they're trying to work out other ways to get around it. Yes, guys, the CV ID. I know that somewhere everything I do, think and dream of is recorded. There you go, guys. Elon Musk. Get a bit of Elon Musk in you. He's a good guy, isn't he? With his Tesla and Starlink and microchips. Yeah, he's a great guy. I just hope that nobody will use it against me. That is a joke, by the way, guys. If anyone didn't get that about Elon Musk, it's a complete joke. I think the complete opposite. It's those who were probably in America who don't get British sarcasm. All in all, it is a good life, much better than the path we were on, where it became so clear that we could not continue with the same model of growth. We had all these terrible things happening, lifestyle diseases, climate change, refugee crisis. This is all going on now. Diseases has happened. They're talking about climate change now. Refugee crisis, that's exactly what is just about to play out. And it's going to get more, I think it's going to get more crazy. Environmental degradation. So all these already are coming true to that end. Environmental degradation, complete congested cities, water pollution, air pollution, social unrest. We've seen that. Unemployment, yeah, we're seeing that more. We lost way too many people before we realised that we could do things differently. Look at this. We lost way too many people. Depopulation. And I'm sure the 500 million people that are left, you know, the 500 million so-called slaves that are left will be indoctrinated enough to believe and be happy to be part of all this. What was I going to find out? What was I talking about? I was talking about something. I was going to find something out once at the end after I read all this. But yeah, guys, I'll put the link in the description. I have done a video of this before, but I thought I'll just reevaluate it. Yeah. So this is by a guy called... I don't think we can. Oh no, we can't. Well, it takes us to the World Economic Forum. What makes a great startup leader? I don't know. Someone like let's think about it. In their eyes, someone that Stalin maybe. That's who they seem to look up to. These are 3 ways knowledge can provide strategic advantage. Is this the World Economic Forum? I'm just on the Forbes website. Oh no, it's just a contributor in it. Alright guys, anyway, yeah, I'll leave it there. So that's just a re-evaluation of the welcome to my city and, you know, blah blah blah, own nothing, be happy, no privacy, dictatorship, control, can't leave your city, you're not allowed to touch anything, you can look but you can't touch, the nature, you know, you wouldn't dare, would you, type of world that we're going into in 2030, according to the World Economic Forum, the Agenda 2030 that's playing out right now. Yeah, it seems it's legit that that's their agenda. It's quite obvious. We can see, if you look at the logo of the World Economic Forum, can you see it's like a 6 there? You've got a 6 there and a 6 there. Can you see the 3 6s? The 3 O's and the lines above them make the 6, don't they? You got a 6 there. You got a 6 there. And you got a 6 there. Can you see the 3 6s? 6, 6, 6. Alright guys, cheers.